My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ,
Ko parajang of Trai Jesus Christ.
we have yet another account of the multiplication of loaves feeding thousands of people.
Ngidan sakway pat ka jingeh tu ya ka ba lapsa ya ki hajar ngut ki breu.
We might wonder why such an account is repeated again in the Gospel.
Ila ban siolongo baleh sa sisin pat ya ka jing psa ya ki breu la tho biang ha ki gospel.
Now, the first miracle happened in a Jewish area in the presence of Jewish people.
Ka jing le kam phalag ban kong jung jing psa ya bun hajar ngut ki breu le ha ki thain ki ba don ki jaj ben reu Jew.
Now, the second account in chapter 8 of Mark's Gospel is happening in a Gentile area in Decapolis.
But ha ka jing atu ka ba ar sepang ka jing psa jung Jisu ya ki hajar ngut ki breu la jia ha ki thain ba don ki gentil.
So one happens in a Jewish area and the other happens in a Gentile area, meaning that Jesus has come not just for Jewish people alone, he is for all.
But kani ka jing le jung Jisu ha kani kurkom kadai ka jing penpau bau Jisu udai nakabantah barok.
Now when we see in the Gospels, when an incident is repeatedly given in the Bible and the Gospel, it means that God has something different to communicate to us.
But haba ngi ha ka jing thok bokoi ya kino ki ba ule bun sin kani ka ketika pen ba ublei udon ban ong hangi.
No incidents given in the Bible are the same. They all have different message to communicate.
Ki jing thok ba per ha ki jing thok bokoi ki ai hangi ya ki kubor ki ba per.
In the miracle mentioned in chapter 6, there is different details, but in this miracle, there are different details given.
But ha ka gospel ujung ya anis wa lenong ko ba hendriu ka don ki jing atu ki ba per but ha kani ka gospel Markus ru ka ya per na ka ba lai thu ha ka ba la tho hang tu.
In the first multiplication miracle, there were 5,000 people, but here 4,000 people.
Ha ka jing le kam phla jong jing psa ka ba ni kong la don san hajar ngut andre hang ne don saw hajar ngut.
In the first miracle, Jesus multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fish. Here, 7 loaves and a few fish.
But ha ka jing le kam phla jong jing psa ba ni kong don san tri ki pu but altri ki dok kha but hang ne ba de nyau tli ki kpu but kato ka ne ki kharit.
Now, without getting much into the detail, we shall right away go into the crisis moment in the miracle today.
But klemda pet nya bun ki in pet ya ke ba la don ka jingjia hakaba la jia ya kane ka kampla.
It was a crisis moment because people were hungry and they badly wanted food.
But hang ne ba la long ke dei ba ki breu ki la ya thangan ba but ki la don kam jing bam.
Jesus felt compassion for them and Jesus requested disciples to find food for them.
But hang ne ujisu lasngo sene ki sulemiki but ula ong haki sanran ki jong u ban wat jing bam na ka banta jong ki.
But the disciples find themselves in frustration again like it happened in the first miracle.
Henry ki sanran hang ne ki la sem jing e nang no ban yo ya ka jing bam ban sai kat kini ki breu kumba la jia ha ka kampla jing psa ka baning kong.
They raise the same question, where are we to find enough bread for these people?
Ila bu ya ka ju jing keli kumba la bu man shwa nang no ngin yo jing bam.
They were unable to recall the power of Jesus which he displayed in the first place.
Kim shem la kynmaw ka bor jung Jisu ka ba ulap pen ya ha ka por ba ni kong ka ba ulale ban psa.
They are in the similar situation like it happened in the first place.
Ladan hakaju kor kom jinglong jong kene jing chia kumbala jia kasin ka baning kong.
They could say among themselves, come on, this is a similar moment. Let's ask Jesus to do something about it.
Kin jintala ong paramaki kene ka ba la jia teng menshua kasin baning kong tu ingin ya let si Jisu ban let ya kaju ka ba ulale.
So they forgot the great miracle Jesus did in the first place.
Kila klet ya ka kampala ka ba krau ba Jisu ulale.
So there was no need for them to question this again. Where are we to find enough bread? Because Jesus who worked a miracle is there right with them.
Kin jin dalam ton kam pan kli yakum kene ke jingkli nang no nyo jing bam marba ujisu la le teng ya kene ka jing psa habam don i eru la la pan psa.
Are we not like the disciples at times in life?
Atau ngim siam la long kum kene ke senran teng teng ha ke jing im jongi.
A few months back, one of our prayers Jesus answered. He worked miracles in our lives.
Ha kini ki ibanai ki beladep u jisu la jubam ya ke jing duai jongi bat la le kampala ha ke jing im ke jongi.
We were in a helpless situation from which we thought we are finished.
Ngila don ha ke jing long ka ba ni sngo ba ngila dulat.
But then God got us out of that trouble and we are back on feet again.
Bat ublei ula wengengi nakata ke jing bat ula wanra biang yangi ke jing sngo scam.
But when we meet with another crisis with a different need, we again forget the great miracle the Lord has done in our lives in the past.
Berapa ngi lai kendu biang ya ke jing ba ke jing ton kam jongi ngi klet ya kata ka ba ublei ula le berulai rap yangi hakapor kepala dep.
We tried to fix the problems by ourselves.
Ngi persyang ban weng ya ke jing dala dehi.
We asked, how am I to find enough money to pay my hospital bill?
Ngi ikli hilade kumno ngin wat ya kapisa ban dup yo siu ya kabil ha hospital.
How am I to find enough money to provide provision for my children?
Kumno ngan yo kapisa ka ban biang ban sa ya laki jong ki khun.
How do I get out of this problem?
Kumno ngin mi nakane ke jing
How do I get out of this crisis?
Kumno ngan mi nakane ke jing jenjar.
I think one of the biggest problems the disciples had was forgetfulness.
Let's say ka jing ba ke jing long jong kini ki senran jong jisu kolong ke jing klat bi.
So like the disciples, at times we also forget what the Lord has done in our lives in the past.
Ya kumbala jia ya kini ki apostol let's say kalong hangiru wangi klat ya ke ba utrai ulale yangi hakipor ki parale.
So remember the great miracle the Lord does in our lives and always keep thanking the Lord for it.
Dia tu kynmaw ya ki kampala ki ba utrai ulale ha ke jing im jong pi pa yai ya sngongo ya u nakapanta kata.
This is what Jesus means when he says in the Holy Eucharist, remember this. Whenever you celebrate the Holy Eucharist, remember this act.
Padai nakane kadau pa jisu hawai dei ba kayu koris bukui bu ong to le ya kane ban kynmaw ya nga.
Do this in remembrance of me.
To le ya kane ban kynmaw ya nga.
So each Holy Eucharist is an act where we give thanks to the Lord for all that He has done in our lives.
Di man la kayu koris bukui kede ke jing le ka bangi seongo yau trai ina ka panta ki ba ula le ke jing im ke jongi.
So this miracle is very simple for us. In each Holy Eucharist, this miracle happens, multiplication of loaves.
Bat kane ka kampala kalong ka ba ngi yo I brobor man kapor kane ka jing benroi yau kupu.
We place our 7 loaves in the arms of Jesus.
Ibu ya kene ke nyautali ke kupu hak sang tu jong jisu.
What are these loaves? These loaves are our prayer intentions.
Kini ki kupu ki theu ya ki jing duai ba ngibu jing duai.
We offer these prayer intentions along with the offerings that we make.
Ngi terwai ki jing thumo per jungi rangkat bat ke jing trua Eucharist.
The problem is that we don't place these loaves in the arms of Jesus.
Bat ka jing galong ba yakini ki jing thumo ba per ngi don ngimbu ha ka jing trua jong ke Eucharist bukut.
Holy Eucharist is the best medicine for all our crises.
Ka Eucharist bukut ka dei udawai nakabanta bar khot ki jaching bat ki jing chanchar jongi.
Whenever we are in spiritual want, whenever we are in spiritual crisis, spend some time in front of the Blessed Sacrament, in front of the Holy Eucharist. That is the best way to get out of all our issues. Because the Lord has an answer to our problems.
Abangi don kono jing habai dei jong kamen sim de penut kapor kendian on syong khmat ju ha ka sakramen bukutam ku jong keduan jisu ubadon hangta ula ban yarap ya pi ya kita ki jing